Today I'm going to talk about owning versus renting a home. I got this question and it intrigued me because I'm one of you who wishes to own a home as soon as possible. Owning a home is an emotional experience. It's like when we have our own place, we feel a sense of comfort, right? I understand that, but this false sense of security or comfort that in fact is making most Indians get into debt. Why am I saying this? Most of us in cities, mainly metropolitan cities, check the price of land in these cities, and you will realize that owning a piece of land and building a house on it is something of a lifelong goal. Something when we hurry, we are bound to get into debt. In the later part of this video, I'll explain why getting into debt at this age is not a wise choice. So let's get into today's topic of discussion. Hello everyone, I'm Rakshit Pai, and in today's video, I'll answer your question: what financial advice is there for an individual starting their career to opt for a home loan? If you wish to own a home, here are some of my financial tips for you. Number 1, 80-20 rule. The Pareto principle states that 80% of consequences come from 20% of work. We must use the same principle here. Let me explain. Suppose you need rupees 1 crore in order to own a home. For that, you need a loan. But as per this rule, in regards to financing your home, see to it that 80% of the required amount is funded by you without any financial assistance such as a loan, and the balance 20% is funded with the help of a loan. This rule must be strictly followed so that the loan amount or home loan interest will not become a burden for you in coming days. Number 2, budget. Now that we know we need to accumulate most of our required cash, we need to start budgeting. How do we get about it? Well, start reducing unwanted expenses. I have written a detailed article on budgeting. You can check the link in the description. You must begin with saving more and investing aggressively in liquid instruments, or try to build a proper well-diversified portfolio. Basically, create a proper budget and stick with it until the goal is reached. Remember that even if you earn rupees 1 lakh per month in order to fund your house worth rupees 1 crore, even though you earn 6% interest on your income, you still need to save 100 months. That's easily 7 to 8 years from now. Number 3, don't bite off more than you can chew. Out of the total retail market, more than half of the personal loans are for housing, amounting rupees 24 lakh crores. And the biggest mistake these people make is that they take out loans in excess of their ability to fund the interest cost. But why? Because people are always in a hurry to build or buy a home. They think it's a once in a lifetime deal. Why not go big on it? Build lavishly and ultimately end up broke. There are many such instances where people build lavish homes and end up paying EMIs worth 50, 60 or even 1 lakh per month. I've seen many such examples here in Bangalore. In fact, there was one guy who was in his late 40s who was a real estate magnate worth nearly 300 crores. Unfortunately, he died recently of a heart attack. Do you know what caused his death? Not the heart attack, but the immense amount of pressure that he was under because of the leveraged properties that he owned. And because of COVID, his only source of income, the rental income, took a hit. Don't bite off more than you can chew. I'm saying this to remind you that debt kills. Number 4, interest rate. If there is one factor that defines whether you'll be worth something financially, it is something that gives value to your money, then it's interest rate. Be in the wrong side of it and you are bound to get hurt. What I mean here is, when you take out loan, be it for whatever reason it is, if you are in a low interest period and the estimate for future is gloomy, wherein a hike in the rates is just around the corner, be sure to lock your home loan interest rates or opt for fixed interest rates. Take current situation for example. When RBI raises interest rates, that's the repo rate, banks' borrowing cost is increased. When that happens, banks have no other choice but to pass on this added cost onto you, the borrower. So when you don't lock in your home loan interest rates, with rising interest rates, you will be charged higher rates, as simple as that. Number 5, SIP over EMI. This is something that I would suggest to each and every one of you. SIP stands for Systematic Investment Plan and EMI stands for Equated Monthly Installment. I understand the urge to own a home, but if given the option, always choose SIP over EMI. I know you might be wondering why I am mixing these two entirely different topics. For that, you must understand the difference between owning and renting. Here's how it goes. Assuming the house is worth rupees 1 crore, so as per our first rule, we must take 20% in loan and the balance in cash. Now see this table. So here we have two scenarios. The first one is to buy or build, and the second one is rent and invest. In one case, we are trying to own a home for rupees 1 crore, wherein we are funding 80% via cash payment, that is our own savings, and the balance 20% as in loan amount. On the other hand, we are investing the entire 80 lakh of our savings as in one-time cash investment, and the balance 20 lakh, if any, is set aside as to meet our rent requirement. Both the loan period and the investment tenure is set as 20 years, wherein the loan amount cost us 8.75% as per the SBI home loan rates, and our investment ROI, return on investment, is assumed to be 10 to 12%. Let's assume 10%, the lower end. So our monthly interest expense comes at around 14,500. That's because 20 lakh loan at 8.75% interest rates per annum. This is our per month EMI. Obviously the EMI won't stay the same throughout the period, right? As your principal amount reduces, because you are settling your debt, your interest cost will also reduce. So I took the help of EMI calculator, and as this was my only EMI for the next 20 years, as per the EMI calculator, for 20 lakh loan at 8.75% interest rates for 20 years, this is my EMI and this is the interest payable. So total interest plus principal amount cost me 42,41,811 as mentioned here. So 80 lakh is the cash that I have paid, 20 lakh is the total loan principal amount, and 22,41,000 is my total interest cost. Put together it comes at 1.22 crore. So that makes my total cost of owning home worth rupees 1 crore is rupees 1.22 crores. With this, the rent I have saved is 99.19 lakh. That's considering 25,000 per month rent for 20 years, add 5% annual hike. Because our calculation can go wrong due to underestimation of rent cost, I have added another 10% as in miscellaneous. So the rent that we have saved is 1.1 crore. Why saved? Because since we are owning the home, we have no other rent cost. So based on this calculation, our net figure, that is if we own a home at rupees 1.22 crore, that's the cost, and we are saving rupees 1.11 crore as in rental cost, then we are at a loss of 12 lakh here. This is hypothetical situation. Now let's see the other option. Here we are investing in an index fund or a well-performing mutual fund, expecting a 10% CAGR for the next 20 years. So a total investment of rupees 80 lakh will turn into rupees 5.38 crore. That's our asset. And the rent is our expenses here because we are not owning a home here. So same calculation for 20 years, 25,000 per month at 5% annual hike, our total rent cost is 99,19,000. Add another 10% as miscellaneous and our total cost is 1.1 crore. Net earned hypothetically, that is 5.38 crore as in investment earnings minus 1.1 crore in total rent cost, we have 4.28 crore as in net earnings. Forget about both these earnings. Let's see the final figures. Now finally, after 20 years, this is what you will have if you choose the buy or build option. You'll have one full built house worth rupees 2.5 crore considering a 5% annual hike in home price. So basically your purchase price was 1 crore. After 20 years, you'll have 2.5 crore. Obviously, based on the location, your house price may also increase. But what we are estimating here is a 5% annual hike in home price. You will have no other investment portfolio because you have no other investments. You have settled all your debts regarding home loan because you have taken 20 years to settle the debt. And your home earns no other income because you are staying in this home. So basically your net worth, not considering any other asset or liabilities, is 2.5 crore. That's your home worth. Now on the other case, finally after 20 years, this is what you'll have. One portfolio worth 5.38 crores. Even if you consider the 1.1 crore as an expense directly deducted from this asset, then you'll have 4.28 crore. Let's consider 4 crore. You have no home, so your annual rent is 7.58 lakh, 20th year onwards. Why? Because your per month rent is 25,000. Now after 20th year, your per month rent at 5% annual hike, it will be 7.58 lakh per annum. You have no other debt because you are not subscribed to any debt. Your portfolio can earn in two ways. That is, one, dividend income, and the other one is in capital gain. This dividend income of 5.4 lakh per annum is based on the entire portfolio worth of 5.38 crore. Even if you consider the 4 crore as your portfolio value, then at 1% you are earning 4 lakh per annum. And your capital gains at 10% will always increase because your portfolio will grow by 10% per annum. Let's take 4 crore as your portfolio size and do a small calculation here. So this is your portfolio, that's 4 crore rupees, and as per FIRE principle, if you don't know what FIRE principle is, check the link in the description. I have made a short video on the topic. So as per FIRE principle, your portfolio must be 25 times your annual expenses. So in this case, suppose your total portfolio size is 4 crore, at 4% of your portfolio, you can withdraw 16 lakh rupees per annum or 1.3 lakh per month. So with this brief table, I have explained the two options: buy or build and rent and invest. On a rough figure, we can see that your net worth is double the size if you choose the rent and invest option. The only thing that you are doing here is you are not owning a home in the initial stages, but instead renting and investing the balance amount so that in a later stage you can buy the same home and still have double the amount set aside as your retirement portfolio. Obviously, this entire calculations is not foolproof. There may be some minute changes, but the end figure stays the same. No matter what, unless you have a big incentive to buy or build wherein your interest rate is too low or your tenure is too large, you can choose this option. If not, rent and invest is always the right choice. I hope the video was informative. If you got any queries, please leave them in the comment section. Thank you for watching.